Yes, people. Big up to everyone. Big up to Aston Villa from the stands. We're here. Make sure you smash the like button, whether you're watching live or on replay. Get in the comment section. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's a massive day. I'm wearing the white kit that we wore at Bournemouth today, where we have made a massive statement, a massive claim in our charge for European football. First and foremost, it's signed, sealed, and delivered. We have qualified for Europe again. 3 years in a row. What a massive achievement. What an absolute privilege. And there it is, European football again. And as this graphic was going to show you right now, qualified for Europe 3 times in a row. That is absolutely freaking massive. That is something to be so proud of, and something as a fan base we need to absolutely show where we have come and how far we've got under Unai Emery. But the big question is, what Europe will it be? Will it be Conference League? Will it be Europa League? Or will it be the golden ticket to Champions League football? Imagine. And after the result of Manchester City today, and with Chelsea and Newcastle playing each other tomorrow, it could happen, Villa fans. It could actually happen that we end up qualifying for the UCL. We now have one massive home game against Tottenham, which we need to get over the line at Villa Park, our fortress, and then go to Old Trafford last game of the season. So there we go. This is what we are in. Big up to everyone. And of course, we've got a big raid from Never a Foul. Big up to them. I've been ranting about the Cartel 6. I've been ranting about the fact that I have the Chelsea fans in my head. I've got the Cartel 6 in my head. Villa have done their talking today. It's up to the other teams to do that. As I said, I've been absolutely disgusted in the fact that Villa were written off, absolutely written off for Champions League football by TNT the other night. And now all of a sudden, you want to talk about Villa being in Champions League again? Well, I'm here for it. We're going to get the Premier League table up. Who would have thought that Southampton would have actually got a result against Man City? The dustiest result of all time. The dustiest result of all time is absolutely drawing to Southampton. We've got Ruben Diaz tears. I'm all for it. What I need now is for Newcastle, Chelsea, a little bit of Leicester City magic, and we're there. So, look, people, I'm absolutely thrilled. I'm absolutely buzzing to see the fact that Villa have qualified for Europe 3 seasons in a row, a massive achievement. But I still love that we do not know which one it is. Anyone who loves the Cartel 6, then welcome in. I guess you're a friend of the Aston Villa from the stands. But yeah, we will be dismantling you one stage at a time. We also have to talk about the fact that Ollie Watkins is a record breaker. He's a record breaker. The all-time Aston Villa Premier League goal scorer, overtaking Gabby Bonjour. We're going to put this on record for a while. I've been waiting for Ollie Watkins to do this. I've been waiting for Ollie Watkins to overtake Gabby. Gabby, for me, has held on to a thread of being relevant at Aston Villa Football Club. He absolutely shitted on us in our last season, where he came in the Championship, where he got relegated with that Premier League team and done us over. It's a bit like Alan Shearer. Alan Shearer is only relevant these days because he's the all-time Premier League goal scorer. But Gabby Bonjour, he's now Mr. Irrelevant. He can go and do his job on TalkSport, and I've got to say that. So big up to everyone in the chat. Look, we're going to have people in the chat who obviously are not fans of Aston Villa. I've been fighting my corner for Aston Villa for the last hour, but big up to everyone. Look, at the end of the day, I'm going to say here, and I'm going to sit there, the Champions League dream is still on. Champions League is still on. I have got us down to beat Tottenham at home and beat Manchester United away, and therefore it lands us on 69 points. I think we finish 5th, higher than 2 other teams. And I believe Chelsea and Forest are the 2 teams that are going to finish below us. So there we go. But massive shout out to Ollie Watkins. Look, people hate Ollie Watkins. I think I'm going to start on the Ollie Watkins chat. There is a lot of discontent around Ollie Watkins. There's a lot of criticism over Ollie Watkins. There's a lot of the fact that this guy, people believe, cannot finish. I think, for me, the massive thing that I'm going to say about this is that you cannot be bad striker if you're the all-time leading Premier League goal scorer for that football club. The respect on Ollie Watkins' name, I think, needs to be there. Now, whether Ollie Watkins goes to another Premier League team this season, that, truth be told, Ollie Watkins, for me, he's done his job. If he can fire us into the Champions League and get another couple of crucial goals, then if he wants to move on, that's up to Ollie. Obviously, I want Watkins to stay, but he has to have massive credit. Now, people can say, Ollie Watkins, did he get a touch on it? Did he not? Was it a good finish? Blah, blah, blah. This is where I love Watkins. He's more instinctive. I prefer Watkins when he's like that, when he has to think minimal about it. The way he got across the defender, the way he created the space is what Ollie Watkins is about. Do people genuinely believe that Ollie Watkins is still... Are there people still in this chat who don't rate Ollie Watkins? Do people still believe in this chat that we can upgrade on Ollie Watkins? Personally, for me, I don't see it. I don't see it. I think we still have to keep the faith in Ollie Watkins being our number 9. We have to get behind this guy. We have to let him run free, and we have to see that this guy is integral and crucial. But yeah, and I'm so glad he's overtaken Gabby Bonhor. But that finish from Ollie Watkins was a very Ollie Watkins type of finish for me. One in which he bullies the defender, one in which he occupies the space, and one in which he absolutely wants the ball more. That ball from Morgan Rogers, absolutely exquisite, absolutely sublime, on the money. And that's basically, for me, Morgan Rogers. When he's in those positions, wide right, maybe that's what Unai Emery sees. A man who can create from out wide, a little bit more of a versatile player in that sense. But that ball from Rodgers absolutely needs to be spoken about a little bit more. But yeah, big up to everyone in the chat. Make sure you smash in the like button for me. And of course, put in your opinions. Look, at the end of the day, as a Villa fan, and I will get that league table up, we are in this weird position where we are focusing on other teams. I hate to be that sort of club, but we have to. We also have to do the job ourselves. But there is no doubt tomorrow, Newcastle, Chelsea, and Forest Leicester is absolutely magnificent. It's huge. It's monumental in our season. Now, I'm going to get the Premier League table up. I still can't make up my mind. I said on Never a Foul that I want Newcastle to beat Chelsea tomorrow. In the chat right now, tell me what you think the best result is for Aston Villa. What is the best result for Aston Villa tomorrow in terms of Newcastle and Chelsea? Our goal difference is absolutely dusty, as Chills is saying. And as a lot of you have all said as well, and I've been banging on about it, it is what fundamentally kills us, our goal difference. I've been worrying about it for time and time and time. However, I don't know what the best result is. A lot of people keep telling me we need a draw. I think a draw does then take out our goal difference situation, doesn't it? Because it means then that it's if Newcastle or Chelsea do drop further points, that we can overtake them. Chelsea go into this game with decent form, as you can see, 3 wins in a row, and it does worry me. The reason why I'm banking on a Newcastle win is I'm going to say that basically give up Newcastle and let Newcastle go and get that top 4 spot. For me then, Chelsea, if you look at Chelsea's fixtures, they have to play Nottingham Forest on the last game of the season. And that, for me, is where it gets tasty. Forest and Chelsea play each other and where they've got everything to play for. So a lot of people have almost convinced me now that basically I need a draw. And maybe I need to get on that bandwagon tomorrow. And big up to everyone who said that. Why do people feel like we need a draw? Is it because of the goal difference? Is it because of the goal difference? So that's a big one for me. Something else that, maybe a little bit hypocritical of me, but now I'm starting to see the light. Is this. The fact we played today puts massive pressure on Nottingham Forest tomorrow. I actually like that we've played before Forest, Newcastle and Chelsea, because we've thrown down the gauntlet and said, here we are. Now, what are you going to do? That's what I want to know. What are you going to do? However, on the other side of the coin now, I would have been moaning and screaming, and anyone who's in the Never a Foul channel earlier will probably now say I'm an absolute fraud for saying this, but it's just hit me. Playing Tottenham now on the 16th of May may give us an advantage. The reason why it may give us advantage is it may give us psychological advantage, because it means the teams like Forest and Newcastle will see our result come in and then have to make sure they go and perform. And that's where I'm at now, is that we've thrown our gauntlet down today and said, look, we've won. Now what are you boys going to do? Playing Tottenham on the Friday as our penultimate game gives us that psychological edge. And that's how I feel. Now, the irony is I've been shouting and screaming about how fraudulent it is that they've moved the Tottenham game to the Friday. It has pooed on all the fans who've booked travel, tickets and accommodation. Second of all, I'm going to bang this drum. It's to protect the Cartel 6. They've given Tottenham more time to prepare for the final, and like they wouldn't for Villa, like they wouldn't for teams who have always asked for the Premier League for fixture changes and they've never done it. But they did it for Spurs and they've done it for Man United because they want to protect the Cartel 6. Hence the Cartel 6 raid earlier in the chat. I stand by that. But if I want to find a positive out of being absolutely shafted by the Premier League, my positive is this. We actually can put an advantage over the rest of the teams by getting a W. And then Forest have to go to West Ham away. Not easy. And I don't know who Newcastle have that weekend. Oh, they have Arsenal. Absolutely perfect. Forest have to go to West Ham away. Newcastle have to go to Arsenal away. Imagine if those two teams drop points and Villa win. We are then cooking. So let's see what happens. That could be an absolute war one, but there we go. By the way, big up to Lee Collison. I know he's on the siders. I saw it in the chat earlier. Big up for your super chat. And he said, up the Villa. Big up to you guys. Look, I just want to put it on record. I'm really sorry that I couldn't do a watch along earlier. I did plan to do one. Unfortunately, my daughter Star, she was in, not unfortunately, it was fortunate. She was at a football tournament. It started at 2:00, and the final was at like 5:30, basically bang on kickoff. But she won the tournament. She scored goals, so it was worth it all to miss the Villa to see Star play. So I did catch the second half, and I've rewatched the bits of the first half back. Didn't really miss much in the first half, apart from maybe the last flurry at the end of the Watkins goal. And of course, Asensio, etc. But she won her tournament, so it was worth it all in the end. But yeah, and that's why I couldn't do the watch-alongs. But I did want to get on here. I did want to give my chest for Aston Villa Football Club. We've qualified for Europe 3 seasons in a row, but I still believe the UCL is on, and Watkins is our record breaker. Now, as for Bournemouth, they give us a little bit of a scare. They did give us a little bit of a scare. They absolutely threw the gauntlet in the last 10 minutes, and they had that chance at the end. My gosh, people. I've been, again, slating Matty Cash this week. You know, Chatty Cash, Twatty Cash, whatever you want to call it. He did something incredible. That block on the line against Bournemouth, as Semenyo puts it back across. Emi Martinez, by the way, massive touch on that. But Matty Cash actually didn't need to use his mouth. He let his feet and his head and his body do the talking. Threw his body on the line. That was massive. Do you know what, for me? Moments like that. Remember when Villa conceded in the 90+5 against Bournemouth at home? Evan Nilsson scored. Again, massive 3 points that were dropped in Villa's season. Massive points where we dropped this season was that Evan Nilsson goal at Villa Park. So we nearly had another collapse there. A draw today, this would have been a different vibe. I'd been on this stream absolutely furious, absolutely fuming, absolutely in bits that we have basically thrown away our season, X, Y, and Z. No joke, that's how it would have been if it was a draw. But yeah, not good. Cash is forgiven, absolutely. Big up to everyone. And it's the same against Manchester City. Manchester City, when we played them at the Etihad and they scored that late goal. Villa have been done by late goals. In fact, there was a stat that came up on the TV. Bournemouth has scored 8 goals plus 90+ minutes, the highest in the Premier League. Villa were currently ranked 19th in the Premier League, second worst for conceding 90+ goals. 8 goals. We've conceded 8 goals in 90+ minutes. Unbelievable, really. Unbelievable. So, look, this Premier League campaign, as I said, with this league table, it is twisting, it is turning, it is unpredictable, it's bloody incredible. If Leicester City do anything against Forest tomorrow, I think that almost puts immense pressure on Forest and almost rules them out. However, a win for Forest and they're right in the mix. But no one expected that Manchester City result today. Man City have, I believe, Fulham away on the last game of the season, and they have a really weird home game I think they have like Brighton, Wolves, or Palace, someone like that. Like a really mid-table tier side. Man City, wow. If they drop points and they don't crash out. But the big thing that people keep talking about, and Wolfie's been banging this drum, is Arsenal to not even get second, Arsenal to drop out of the top four. There is a world in which Arsenal, because of their season's crash and burn by losing to PSG, they haven't really, as you can see, their form in the Premier League, 1 win in 5 in the Premier League. Arsenal go to Anfield at the weekend, where I think Liverpool do beat Arsenal at Anfield after the Guard of Honour. I think Arsenal find it hard to get themselves going again. They then have to go and play Newcastle, and then they have Southampton. There is a world where Arsenal could lose to both Liverpool and Newcastle and find themselves maybe in third and fourth as well. So that would be absolutely nuts. But there we go. But yeah, how is everyone? How is everyone? Hope you're all good. Hope you enjoyed the game. Big up to Lee as well. He's been a member on the channel. Sorry, my mouse went there. For 19 months. Absolute legend, Lee Collison. Appreciate it. And big up to all the members in here. Liverpool are on the beach. And that is true. Liverpool are on the beach, but so are Arsenal. It's a battle of the beaches tomorrow. We're going to see a lot of flip-flops, sandals. We're going to see armbands. We're going to see towels, cheesy sandwiches with sand crumbs in it. It's going to be a dusty, beachy day at Anfield. Neither team really cares, but Arsenal should, and that's the point. Arsenal should. So there we go. But yeah, big up to everyone. As I said, I'm really gutted that I couldn't do the watch on that massive game, but we have absolutely smashed it today. I'm so proud of Villa. I'm so proud that we showed that resilience, and I don't want anyone telling me that we're not in that Champions League race. Just got to do the business now against Spurs, got to do the business against Man United, and then it's down to basically other teams dropping points. Beach balls, yeah, don't mention that to Liverpool, Sunderland fans around, do you know what I mean? But yeah, Villa, the FA, yeah, and look, Cool Boys has said something really good, actually. Been an incredible week for our football club. You've secured the FA Cup. Ladies finished 7th. Villa first team secure European football. All-round greatness. Now, look, every week I say, who do you think is dropping out of the Champions League? Who's going to miss out? I have banged the same drum for weeks, and I'm not changing my tune. I still am going to say this. The two teams who finish 6th and 7th will be Chelsea and Nottingham Forest. That's who I'm saying. That's who I'm saying. And big up to everyone who congratulated Stars. I appreciate that. But yeah, I want to know right now. I'm showing you this league table. Do you think it is Forest and Villa who finish 6th and 7th as it stands? Or do you see another twist and turn? Just to be clear, Newcastle play Chelsea tomorrow. Newcastle also have to play Arsenal away as well. And I think they've got Everton at home. Chelsea have got, again, Newcastle away. They have got Forest last game of the season. And I can't think who's Chelsea's getting. Let me have a quick look at Chelsea's game in between. I think Chelsea's game in between is Man United at home, which is a weird one because it's the same as our Tottenham, where you expect to see Manchester United rotate. If I'm going off Chelsea there, if they draw the last 2 games and win against Man United, that's 5 points. Is 5 points enough for Chelsea? Well, potentially it could be. If you go back to the Premier League table, Chelsea on 5 points takes them to 68. I said this will never have foul, and I'm saying it now. I'm going to say Villa end on 69 points. It's up to whether there are teams that finish above us. Cool Boy is interested. Said, I can see Newcastle slipping out. I just feel like cup success got to their head. Look, I'm going to be real. I think Newcastle, I would love to see a world in which Newcastle, Villa and Forest get 3rd, 4th and 5th. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine upsetting the Cartel 6. Imagine upsetting the Cartel 6 and Villa, Forest, and Newcastle get 3rd, 4th, and 5th. That would be absolute. Premier League would have to rip it all up. Premier League would have to rip it all up and have to start the season again and say the season's null and void because we can't have those 3 in there. Big up to Patrick. Look, this is interesting. Patrick is a Man City fan. He genuinely believes City will miss out on Champions League. I know a lot of City fans. I know a lot of City fans are worried about Fulham away last game of the season. I know that. I know that they're worried about Fulham last game of the season. It's the fixture. It's a fixture in between who I can't think they've got. But yeah, big up to everyone. I'm loving all your opinions. Now, when is Chelsea's final? Any Chelsea fans in here or anyone knows, when is the Conference League final? Obviously, the Europa League final is the 21st of May. Hence why Man United will rotate against Chelsea when they go to Stamford Bridge, and Tottenham will rotate when they come to us. Do not expect to see a strong 11 in the Premier League for either of those sides. And I swear down, if Ange Postecoglou puts out his strongest 11 and they've moaned about the fixture change, I'm going to go absolutely nuts as well. When is the Chelsea final? Because that will determine their fixtures. Wait, is it 21st of May? That's the Europa League. What about the Conference League? When is the Conference League final? Interesting. Man City have Bournemouth at home. Now, you never know with Bournemouth. You never know with Bournemouth. But I want to know, would Bournemouth be able to go to the Etihad and get something? Patrick probably thinks it could, and he's a City fan. Do Man City know something about the old points deduction? I wonder. Very strange performance and result today. Look, the Ruben Diaz comments were diabolical for a professional to come out and not concentrate on his own team, but to actually come out and slate the opposition and say they didn't even try and play football today. He questioned whether Southampton players even wanted to play football. And I thought, is that a sign of a team that's on the brink of having a bit of a meltdown? It does seem so, doesn't it? It was very salty from Ruben Diaz. And all of a sudden, I'm thinking, Christ, maybe Man City is starting to feel the pressure as well. Now, if the Europa Conference League final is the 28th of May, which Colton has just confirmed, and Aston Villa 1874, big up to you, then we have a problem. Then Chelsea's Premier League games don't Chelsea's Premier League games don't impact that. Chelsea's Premier League games don't impact that. The Premier League season is done, and Chelsea will go into Nottingham Forest very strong, because I'm just looking at my calendar now. The 28th of May is obviously that Wednesday. Maybe, just maybe, Chelsea versus Forest may be the game that decides who drops out and who misses out, which be, again, the media would absolutely love that. But yeah, big up to Les and Jamie. He's been a member for 21 months, and big up to my dad as well, 43 months a member. Absolutely in the clan. Big up to all the memberships that are coming in. I appreciate you guys. But look, Chelsea will play the final 3 days after the last game of the season. Now, that is an interesting fact there. What matters more to Chelsea? What matters more to Chelsea? Qualifying for the Champions League or winning that Conference League? Because you're going to have to rotate. They're going to have to rotate. No doubt about it. Chelsea are going to have to rotate, which means this Chelsea-Newcastle game is massive. Chelsea basically need to win their next two before that last game of the season and hope that they're already safe and qualified. Interesting. People, make sure you're smashing the like button. Appreciate all your support out here. So yeah, the Premier League is incredible, but Aston Villa's performance today was professional. It wasn't pretty, and we got the job done. I want to know what you all think about the Jacob Ramsey yellow card. By the way, I just want to put this on my screen as well, just to give him a bit more airtime, because he deserves it, because he's my man, Ollie Watkins. I've absolutely backed Ollie Watkins through the thick and thin of everything in football. I absolutely love this guy. 75 Premier League goals with Unai Emery. Absolutely love it. This guy, what a smile, what a face. We absolutely love it. And look, I have been backing Ollie Watkins. I love this guy. I can't give any more superlatives other than the fact that I think he is that consummate professional. I think he's someone who always delivers when we need him. And look, whether you want to criticise his goal scoring ability or not, to be the Premier League, all-time Premier League top goal scorer for Aston Villa takes some feet, people. It really does. It really does. So, yeah, Matty Cash, just as important. If you want to watch every Ollie Watkins goal, the Villa Twitter page now has it. So, yeah, could really enjoy that. And, yeah, Unai Emery, absolutely buzzing about our performances and results as well. What about the fact we kept a clean sheet on the road? What about the fact we kept a clean sheet on the road? But I do want to say, I think it's an absolute disgrace that Jacob Ramsey's second yellow card. I think the position of where it was on the pitch was stupid. I think the position of the time of the game as well was silly. And I just don't really see it as a yellow card offence. I think the referee could have kept his cards in the pockets. And yeah, that one, as Peter said, it was bullshit. Absolutely is. But Ollie Watkins. Right. Darwin said, tell you no. Villa lost a couple more games last season, qualified for Europa League. We're walking away with that trophy this season. Champions League memories this season have been class. Yeah, look, ifs, buts, and maybes. If, buts, and maybes with that Europa League. Obviously, I said it yesterday, I'm jealous and envious of Spurs. I'm jealous and envious of Tottenham and Manchester United because one of them are going to win a trophy. Fact. I am jealous. But Villa genuinely this season, if they qualify for the Champions League, we've done what we did last season. So that's 2 seasons in a row qualified for Champions League. On top of also having an FA Cup semi-final and Champions League quarter-final, that is one hell of a season. Finishing the Europa League, you sort of shake your hand and go, I'll call that. I'll say that. Well done, Europa League. I just don't want to see us finishing in Conference League. That's the one I want to avoid. That is not the competition I want to be in. Give me Europa League or Champions League, but I'm gunning for the Champions League now. I'm banging the drum for the Champions League. I really am. But yeah, it was never a yellow card. Yeah, Emmy to Saudi Arabia is definitely looking on the cards, Les and Jamie. I'm cheering on Man United for that final call, boys. But yeah, interesting shout, isn't it? Look, at the end of the day, as Villa fans, we've got to believe that something special could happen. And getting the Champions League for me is going to be special. Going back-to-back qualification for the Champions League, people wouldn't have had us down to do that. But doing it on top of a massive run in the Champions League and being so close to knocking out PSG, I'm going to be honest, we were close to knocking them out. Again, I'll talk ifs, buts, and maybes, but the saves that Donnarumma made, the header that Ezri Konsa missed, that PSG game, that PSG tie at Villa Park nearly went our way. Palace in the FA Cup is the only one inexcusable performance of this season, and we'll still probably chew on that come the end. But do you believe, and I'm going to ask you right now before I wrap up in the chat, do you think Villa qualify for the Champions League this season with 2 games to go, Tottenham at home, Man United away? Do you believe in us? Or do you think it's still not in our hands already, that other teams could hurt us and we have to basically coincide the fact that Europa League is going to be ours? Where are we going? Where are we finishing? You have to keep sticking on. I think after today, I said if we beat Bournemouth, because we had a terrible, terrible record at Bournemouth, if we beat Bournemouth, we will get Champions League football. And I'm going to stick on that one. We beat Bournemouth today. I think we get Champions League football, people. I really do. Brainy Brian says, Villa in the Champions League. I love it. We'll beat both because we'll feel we continue ahead of the final. Exactly. I think this is the team to do it. I think that it'll be an incredible, metric of where we're at as a football club if we qualify back-to-back. And that's all I care about. But listen, people, tomorrow, lock in on the Forest-Leicester City game. Pray for some Leicester City magic. I don't think we will, but yeah, Leicester City going to the Forest ground, I can't see it. And then second of all, that Newcastle-Chelsea game, you've all convinced me now that I'm praying for a draw. So let's get the draws. Let's hope that we get a really boring 0-0 draw. Come on, Leicester, and come on the draw. But yeah, people, it's been a pleasure. Hope you've enjoyed the day. As I said, sorry I couldn't do the watch on. I wanted to just jump on here, share my thoughts and feelings and emotions, and just revel in the fact that we have got a massive away win at Bournemouth. It really is. And big up again to Lee for his super chat. I really do appreciate it. People in the chat, I appreciate you all out here. Hope you're well. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday. No, you call it Friday. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Take care. Big up to everyone. You're all legends. Up the frickin' Villa. Big up to everyone who's come over from the Never a Foul Road. Big up to the OG Villa fans. Big up to everyone. Make sure you hit the like on the way out. Subscribe. Get in the comment section. I'm out of here, people. I'm tired. I'm going to relax. Big up to you guys. Ta